The date is irrelevant. Alright, so sorry for the late update. I've actually been very, very, very busy. I just moved to Chicago. I am here now and I've been job searching for about a week now, so it's just been busy, but I finally found some time to sit down and answer those questions. I got questions, I'm so excited. So here we go. Okay, Karen on Facebook asks, Paige, I was unable to fit in the Aran Islands last time that she went to Ireland. I want to possibly do it next time I go. What was the best thing about it, and did you guys spend the night on Inishmore? Yes, we did spend the night on Inishmore, and that was definitely a good option because Inishmore is very touristy, so when the ferries start coming in, the island's flooded with tourists, but then they all go back because it generally is like a day trip, so the people leave and then it's just the locals, and the island's like yours for the night, basically. And that's what Mom said was her favorite thing about it. My favorite thing was the wormhole in the Enchanted Cave. Those were probably the prettiest spots on the island, and I was so glad I went. And Carla on Facebook asks, I love tagging along on your trip. The scenery was so lovely, so lush and stacked with rocks. What a great way to see the countryside on bikes. Yes, do get yourself a GoPro if you travel like that again. Happy birthday to me. This is from the family because I asked like 4 or 5 times. So yes, you can definitely look forward to the next trip being full of the bike scenery, since I was complaining about that the whole time. Definitely be doing that. What kind of bikes were you provided? Were the bikes user-friendly? We had hybrid bikes, a cross between mountain bikes and road bikes, because that was recommended to us by the consultant that we spoke to when we first signed up, because Ireland is very hilly, but we were on road most of the time and it rained a lot, so we had hybrid bikes. Yes, they were definitely user-friendly. I learned more about biking in that week than I have my entire life. Also, the remains of the peat bog people, were they mummified? I saw an exhibit once on a variety of mummies, and I believe some of them were from a similar bog area. Yes, they were mummified. Not like Egyptian mummified, wrapped in cloth, but one of the exhibits explained how when the peat bog people were in the bog, there was no oxygen in the bog, so they were basically mummified and pretty well preserved. And in some cases they still had their hair and their face and teeth and nails in some cases, so yes, very well preserved. By the way, there's a super cold Guinness on tap at the Abbey in Denton. Too late at this point. I'm not actually sure if I like Guinness. It's odd. And please expound on your family's Irish roots. Well, David Forsyth came from Ireland in the early 1900s, probably about 1910, 1911, something like that. He met Carrie Knutson in Tennessee, and they got married and moved to Wisconsin, where they had 4 children, including my great-grandmother Lorraine, and then from there had my grandmother, and then my mother, and then me. And about that, we may have gotten the wrong birth certificate. One thing that's frustrating about genealogy research is that a lot of people did not know when they were born. They knew when they knew how old they were, and then the census taker would do math. So what Mom and I did was we had found one census record which had a date. We went based off of that date and found a birth record. But then when we started expanding on that research, trying to do other years, we found other David Forsyths in a similar area. And apparently we had a family member who already did a little bit of research on the Forsyths and had a different David Forsyth. as our ancestor. So what I'm trying to find out right now is why did my relatives pick that particular Forsyth? Because it's in all the census records we have, he's known as David or Dave, whereas the ancestor that they picked was Henry Davis with an S. I'm not dismissing their research, I'm not dismissing my own either, but I'm just curious as to why they picked that particular person when it could have been any other David Forsyth. I'll be just researching that for a bit, and hopefully I'll know more way far into the future. It may take several years way before we know anything. I might do a spit thing. I may do a DNA test to find out a little bit more about that. So that's all of the questions that I got, but I'm so happy that I got some, so thank you everyone who's been watching, and thank you for your comments. There are plans for more trips in the future, so this channel will be updated every year or so. We're thinking either Lake Constance, which borders on Austria, Switzerland, and Germany, or Italy. It'll be one of those two, and hopefully we'll have the boys or any more of the family with us. So anyway, thank you everyone for sticking with me this summer. It's been a wonderful, wonderful summer. I miss it already. See you next year.